Hey there, and welcome to the Profitable Entrepreneur Podcast with your host, Ann Keeney. And this is the podcast where we help six-figure coaches, VAs, and entrepreneurs all around the world scale their sales, break free from the one-to-one hustle, and skyrocket their profits online. Because we believe that the best business is a profitable one, and real CEOs make money, not coffee. So rise up, join the revolution, and let's get down to business. All right, guys, welcome back. Let's talk about how to ramp up visibility and get more high-end clients online in 2021. This is something that has been coming up a whole bunch over in the Society Facebook group, the Simplify the Scale. We have had a lot of conversations and a lot of questions about, as social media changes, as the online space is changing, as the way that people are making buy-in decisions are changing, the amount of people that are online today, and just some of the things that are going to change, right, as we go forward in a new year. How are we to get massive visibility and really ramp up attracting more and more high-end clients as we enter 2021? So it's a big conversation we're having in the Simplify the Scale group community. So if you're not there, head over there. But I want to talk about this a little bit today. I want to go over some of the things we're doing, some of the things we're having our clients do, and what we recommend is going to be the top ways for you to ramp up your visibility and get more high-end clients online in 2021. I do want to kick off by saying that what you do not need is sales pages, websites, webinars, a whole bunch of content, funnels, technology, complicated email sequences. All of that stuff is not going to be the stuff that's going to get you visible and get you high-end clients. Okay. Those are not going to be the things. You don't actually even need to have that stuff. So I want to kind of shift your perspective on what type of productivity that you have in your business right now and what that might look like going forward as we enter a new year. I think that a lot of people are doing a lot of things, right? I think a lot of people are doing a lot of things. I don't necessarily think that those things are very productive. And so that's where I want to kind of give you that mindset shift, that perspective shift on getting more productive and putting more energy toward things that are going to create longevity, predictability, profitability, and scale in your business for years to come. Okay. So let's talk about it. I have 4 ways specifically. So go ahead and grab a pen and paper or pull up a notepad or a Word doc or however you take notes, and let's write these things down. So number 1, to ramp up your visibility, get more high-end clients online as we enter 2021, I want you to really think about having a strong, strategic, and intentional lead generation strategy. Okay. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can generate leads. You can run Facebook ads. You can be doing freebies. You can post 1 million times a day, every single day on 5,000 platforms. You can go into other Facebook groups and whatever, and you could be DMing. And there's a lot of ways. A lot of those ways are actually really good in some of what we teach. But what I want you guys doing is being more strategic. So something that I have really learned, this year is, instead of getting faster at a lot of stuff, it's so much better to get better at less stuff. So really just looking at simplifying, right? Like doing the things that get you the best ROI, getting better, like focus more on those things and get better at those versus trying to do a lot of things really fast, right? I don't think speed is the answer or solution to scale here. I think it is about consistency, repetition, and I think it's about productivity and making sure that the things you're doing are revenue producing, a result driven, right? So a strong, really intentional lead generation strategy that what I teach in my program, The Profitable Entrepreneur, I teach my clients to set up a lead generation strategy that we can get it working like a well-oiled machine, and then we can hand it down to a social seller. The reason for this is because you can't scale if you're the one doing your lead generation always, okay, and forever. So we want you thinking bigger picture. Don't just think about today, but I want you thinking bigger picture. I want you to create, if you're going to take the time, guys, if you're going to take the time to do lead generation, why not take the time to make it run so well that you can give it away and have somebody else do it for you, right? Why put time and energy into something that you're going to have on your plate for the rest of your life, right? It doesn't make sense. So a nice, intentional, strategic lead generation system that's bringing you what I recommend 10 to 20 new leads per day. Write that down, guys. 10 to 20 new leads per day, whether it's into your Facebook group, onto your email list. We want to bring them into a community where you are showing up and you have access to them. So I'm not talking about subscriptions and stuff like that. I'm not talking about likes on your Instagram or follows. I'm talking about they come onto your email list or they come into your Facebook group, right? Where you can then connect, build rapport, relationship, and move them from cold to close. Okay, so 10 to 20 new leads per day should be your focus, especially if it's you doing this by yourself at first. Okay, once you hire social sellers, you can ramp this up. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, I want you to think about 10 to 20 new leads per day. And I want you to think about what can you leverage right now for free that's right in front of you. So this is not about, oh my God, I got to create a freebie and a webinar and a funnel and 300 emails, and then I got to run ads to it to get those 10 to 20 leads per day. I would actually encourage you to be thinking about organic traffic. There's nothing wrong with running ads also, but here's my thought. If you're just running ads and that's the only way that you get leads, you're going to be screwed when Facebook shuts you down or they go away. Or their ads get so expensive you can't afford them. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you're running ads, that is perfectly fine. If those are doing good, ramp them up. However, I also want you to get creative and think of how you can tap in and leverage what's already in front of you that's free, so that should something go down with ads or Facebook, you can still generate 10 to 20 or more leads per day. Okay. And this is something we teach in the Profitable Entrepreneur program. It's called the Social Media Crash Plan. We're teaching you how to leverage other platforms that aren't going to put all your eggs in one basket. So you got to think big there. Okay. And then the other thing with the lead generation is I really want you to understand, like, you're going to put your time and or your money behind this. If you're doing organic lead gen and it's just you right now and you don't have a team, that's a labor of love. It is time, right? It is time. But if you're running a business, you have to know that you're going to put time into your business until you can put money into it. Okay? So if you're in a position where you can't put money behind your business right now, then you need to put your time. So yes, it's a labor of love. Lead generation is a labor of love. It's time intensive until you are generating enough money to start putting money behind it so you can decrease the time you're putting behind it. That's an important distinction for you to understand it, okay? So that's the first thing. Number one, a really intentional, strategic, organic lead generation system that you can build it up and get it working and then delegate it out. Okay. Number two, you need to have a converting content strategy. I am not talking about 3,000 pieces of content per week across 500 platforms. I am not talking about sitting on Facebook all day. I'm not talking about doing, stories and selfies and all of this stuff all day long. Okay. Again, it goes back to doing less better, not more faster. Okay. So I want you to think about not being overly available. This is something that I work with my clients on a lot because people technically assume if you want to charge more or work with more clients or bring on more clients, well, that means more time, more effort. You're going to have to work harder. You're going to have to give more. Actually, that's all wrong. The more higher end clients that I sign into my PE program or any of my programs, the more high end clients that I sign, the less required of me. It comes down to boundaries. It comes down to structuring your program properly. And it comes down to bringing in other people. Okay. So we don't want you overly available. Don't give so much that people can't get through your free stuff. Because if they can't get through your free stuff, then they're going to feel overwhelmed. And they're going to be like, oh, I can't buy right now because I got to get through all this stuff you just gave me. So don't be over available. It also makes it look like you just have a lot of free time, which doesn't really position you as an authority. The other thing too, just not being overly available, is you don't need to give so much that people feel like they can just tune into all your free stuff and they have no urgency to buy from you. Like, why are they going to buy from you if you're giving them everything? If you're answering every single question they post in 5 seconds, if you're in the DMs and you're answering all the questions and just giving them everything, if you're dropping a new freebie every day, if you're just giving them everything, they don't have a reason to buy. Okay. So don't be overly available. Okay. The second thing is I think it's just have 2 or 3 core pieces of strategic content per week. Okay. And yes, I just said per week. You do not need more than 2 to 3 very strategic, intentional pieces of content per week. And the goal of that content should be that it leads them into your DM box where they're reaching out to you. Okay. Your content should do the heavy lifting for you and drive your people to your DMs without you being like, DM me, pitch, I'm going to pitch you. We want you to not be pitchy. If your content's good, it's strategic, thought out and planned in advance, and it's repetition, meaning you're doing it every single week. People can trust you and rely on it. It's predictable and they're waiting for it every week. Okay, 2 to 3 core pieces per week. If you're doing that, your content will do the heavy lifting for you, and you're going to build a momentum out of that repetitive action that's going to literally send people into your DMs. Okay, we close 100% of our sales. My social sellers close, I close, and my clients close 100% of our sales in the DMs. And this is how we're doing it. And we're actually not really even pitching and selling. And people are hitting us up in the DM. They're sliding right in there. Okay. I also want you to put more focus on getting obsessed with your customers. I want you to focus on conversations and human connection. Okay. Focus a little bit less on putting money in your bank account and getting a sale and getting a client and filling your program and making your money and hitting your goals and all of that, right? Focus less on you and your goals and your success, and turn it around and put more of that toward conversations, genuine human connection, really getting to know your people, taking the time, one customer at a time, that you are connecting with, building rapport, building trust, building relationship, having healthy, consistent, productive conversations that lead to sales. Okay. So again, get obsessed with your customers one at a time. Okay. The other thing too is just, I think everyone needs to get behind the mic in the video like 20 times more than they are now. Okay. So definitely that's going to be a really good content piece, is audio and video, period. So podcast, a weekly live show in your Facebook group, do live video and do a podcast. Like, get behind the video and the mic. Okay. Way more than written content. Okay. Number 3, conversion events. Now, any of this stuff that I'm talking to you about right now, if you have a team of social sellers, they can literally do all of this for you, except for the video and the mic. That's your job. But they can literally be doing all of this lead gen. They can be doing all the content, the two-way communication, human connection conversations. They can be doing your conversion and sales. That's what we teach you in the PE program. And we actually train your social sellers for our clients. We train them, we coach them, everything. Because again, if it's all coming back on you to do this stuff always and forever, then you're never going to scale. You're just always going to just be in a consistent kind of a plateaued growth stage. So conversion events, you need to be selling, and you need to sell in layers, right? Some of you guys focus on one thing and that's how you sell and you don't do anything else, but you should have layers. So you should be doing conversion events one-to-many. So get it on video in front of hundreds of people or thousands of people at one time. That would be like a Facebook group, right? You get in your Facebook group and you go live. You're going live to however many people you have in your group all at one time, right? And you can use StreamYard and you can go live in your group and on your page, and you can go live on your profile and other groups or whatever, all at the same time. One video, 10 efforts, right? It produces 10 results for you. So again, thinking, how can you do it in layers? How can you take one thing and get it in front of as many people as possible at one time? One too many, right? When you send an email to your list, you're sending one email to however many people you have on that list. It's one to many, okay? And in layers. So I also want you guys doing consult calls. That's more one-to-one. You can do both. You could do conversion, one-to-many conversion events and one-to-one consultation calls. I have my clients doing both, and my team does both, right? We start with the one-to-many conversion events, right? And we sell one-to-many, but then we also open up one-to-one private 10 or 15 minute consultation calls for the people that need a couple minutes to chat with us before making a buying decision. Okay. If you're doing a one-on-one, then you need to be booking consultation calls every single day in your calendar. And that just needs to happen. So people need to know that you have these open. So are you emailing your list? Are you posting on social? Are you in your stories doing video? Are you live on video in your groups? Are you doing collaborations and getting connected with other people? And then on that, on those interviews, letting them know that you've got space open and you're taking applications or you're taking consultations. Like, what are you doing to get those 16 or more touches out to one single lead, letting them know you have this thing available? Okay. And the fortune, guys, is in the follow-up. Part of converting and generating high-end clients consistently is following up. There's so many leads that slip through the cracks that you forget about, or that you didn't see, or you missed, or, people that are engaging and showing up and raising their hand, but they're doing it silently. And so you kind of just forget about them and you brush them off, right? And you're focusing on, let me try to get more leads. Let me try this shiny object over here. Let me try this course over here. Let me do this. Let me do that. You're chasing all this external stuff, and you have a whole group or email list or followers on social of buyers that you're not paying attention to. You're not reaching out. You're not following up. You don't have a plan. You don't have a strategy. You don't have anything in place that's a system. You should have a follow-up system, okay, for how, you handle every single lead, that comes into your space, every single lead. There should be a follow-up process. There should be a process that happens the second they hit your space, right? So start building rapport within seconds. Okay. So you can get those 16 or more touches out, and you could do that in a day. You could do that in a couple of days, right? That's what we teach in our Profitable Entrepreneur program. Okay. Number 4, collaborations. This is where you need to leverage other people's audiences, right? You're only going to be able to do so much going in Facebook groups or, putting out a freebie or posting on your profiles. You're only going to be able to do so much. What we want you to do is leverage other people's audiences to get yourself in front of more people at one time. This is that one-to-many. But there's a lot of authority and credibility that also comes when you are being interviewed or featured to somebody else's platform, right? Because that audience trusts that leader. And if that leader is suggesting you or interviewing you or showcasing you, that gives you a lot of credibility instantly. And it puts you in front of people that you probably otherwise would not have gotten in front of, or it could have taken months or years to do. Okay. Or a lot of money and time and money. So I definitely think it's worth, get visible to other people's audiences. And I think that you need to go where your people are. Okay. You need to go to the podcast that your clients, your high-end clients are listening and binging and hanging out. You need to be in the groups of the leaders where your people are hanging out all day, asking questions, asking for help, looking for coaches, looking for VAs, looking for support. You need to be in those places, and you need to be collaborating with the leaders of those places, guys. Okay. This is going to be the key to your success in 2021. Okay. Because if you're not hanging with the big dogs and you're not putting yourself in the room with people further along than you, if you're not leveraging audiences for free, if you're not, being featured and positioned in the authority, you're going to really be doing a lot of one by one. It's going to be really challenging come 2021 with all the social media and algorithm changes and all the different things that are changing, the way people make buying decisions. Everything is changing. And you've got to be where your people are, okay? So I recommend you start your own podcast. I recommend that you become a guest podcaster. Get on those top podcasts and get interviewed. I definitely think Facebook group swaps is great. I think email swaps is great. There's so many ways that you can collaborate, connect with other people, and get in front of their audience and vice versa, right? Become a massive collaborator and connector and co-creator in 2021. That's going to be your ticket. That's going to be the key to the kingdom for you, okay? okay? And if you notice, everything I said here is nothing to do with websites and sales pages or funnels or technology or paid advertising. It's not about that. It's about people, right? It's about human connection, collaboration, co-creation. It's about that stuff. If you're not getting that, guys, you're not seeing the bigger picture. So as you head into 2021, let's make sure that these are your 4 top key focuses to really ramp up your visibility and get more high-end clients online in 2021 for your coaching business, your consultation business, your VA business. This is exactly our top focuses coming into 2021. We will be massively aggressive with these 4 things right here. We are ramping these up big time this year, bigger than ever. It's our core focuses, our top priorities, and we want you guys to be thinking like this too, okay? So if you want more of this, if you are not connected already with us, this is the stuff we're teaching. This is the stuff we're talking about. It's how we work with our clients. It's what we're doing. So you can come see us doing all of this as well. Come over to the free Facebook group, Simplify the Scale. Head over there to Facebook, search that group, pop in, answer our entry queues. My team will get you into the community. We'll get you introduced. We got some freebies for you over there to help you start setting up to scale massively in your online business. We're really excited to connect with you. We'll see you in another episode. Hey, not so fast. As a valued listener of the Profitable Entrepreneur podcast, we want to help you simplify the scale and revolutionize your income and your impact online. Not just here in these weekly sessions, but every day of the week and every week of the year. We have an amazing free Facebook group with other successful, high-achieving, and profitable CEOs who are creating financial and time freedom for their families. They're breaking free from the one-to-one hustle, and they're making a real income and impact. If this is an experience that you want to have and you want to be part of a real online community where you can connect, collaborate, co-create, scale your online coaching business, and receive uncommonly exceptional weekly live trainings from me, then head over to Facebook right now, search for Simplify the Scale. Join us over there in the Facebook group, and my team and I will be watching and waiting to welcome you and get you started on creating your next 6 figures. I cannot wait to connect.